Hi, welcome to SETZER'S Water Camping. My name is Dakota Moss. Today we're going to be reviewing the RPod 193. Sorry. Today starting off here, we're going to start with the power tongue jack. This here is going to be the main control for the unit, up and down. On the front here, you're going to have two. You're going to have a light for whenever you pull in at night and you need help with the hookup via the hookup here. Also, power tongue up and down. Now a spot behind that in case your battery runs out and you're not connected to any shore power. Behind here, you're going to have a manual crank that's going to be located inside the unit, up underneath the couch inside. So whenever that dies, you'll just go and put that in there and raise and lower it. Now behind that, you're going to have a single 4.5 gallon propane tank. This is going to come with an automatic pressure regulator, so it's going to go ahead and pull from it as long as it's open. It's going to be down inside here. This is going to be that pressure regulator right here, and here's your tank. Now whenever you're using your camper, make sure that your tank's on, because it is going to be controlling everything that's inside, from the furnace to heat and everything. Now behind that, it's going to have a 12-volt deep cycle marine battery. It's going to come with the unit. Now with this 12-volt deep cycle marine battery, it's going to control and power everything inside of your unit here. We recommend that you don't use the battery disconnect switch right here. We recommend that you keep that on even whenever you pull into a campsite and you're hooked up to the shore power, as what that's going to do is it's going to trickle charge from that shore power through the unit to charge your battery and keep that nice and full. Whenever you do go to winterize the unit, we do recommend that you go ahead and flip that battery switch on so it's not powering anything inside the unit. Now coming on from behind that, you'll notice here in the front, underneath this first compartment here, it's going to be your stabilizer jacks. These are purely meant for stabilizing the unit once you've pulled into the campground. Above that, you're going to have a nice void that extends across the length of the camper here for ease of access. Now inside of this compartment is going to be a couple things. One of those things is going to be your 30-amp power supply cord, which is going to be hooked up. Also, you're going to have an RV starter kit. There's going to be a few things inside of that RV starter kit that are very important. One of those is going to be your stinky slinky or your waste disposal tube. What that's going to do is it's going to hook onto the black hose or pipe down there for your waste disposal. That's whenever you go into your campground. Also inside of there, while we're on the black tank, there's going to be a bio pouch inside of there. What that powder is going to do is it's going to break down any fecal matter or any waste material, such as toilet paper. Whenever you use that, put a few ounces of it inside of your toilet with 3 gallons of water before you start filling up your tank. That way you go ahead and get that mix before you start putting any waste matter in there. While we're on it as well, 2-ply toilet paper is going to be inside of there. It's the only toilet paper that we recommend that you use, as it breaks down easier and it won't clog any of those sensors. It's also going to come with a pressure regulator, water pressure regulator. So what that's going to do is it's going to attach to any water hose. So anytime you put water into the unit, you need the black tank flush, or the city water connection, or the freshwater connection. You're going to make sure there are pressure regulators on there so you don't overblow any of your pipes or lines. Speaking of, this here's the freshwater connection. So for your freshwater connection, it differs from the city water, as what that does is this bypass fills up your water tanks instead. Underneath it here, you're going to have the city water connection. So city water, what that's going to do, instead of using the water that comes from your fresh tank, from the fill from this one, what that's going to do is when you hook up with the water pressure regulator here, what that's going to do is it's going to take the water from that water hose and use that directly into your lines, bypassing your fresh water tank, allowing you to save water. Now right here as well is going to be the freshwater drain for whenever you go to winterize this unit. So whenever you're done for the season, up underneath it here, there will be a cap that's located inside of your hot water tank right now. You'll undo that cap, and what that's going to do is it's going to completely empty out that tank to allow for that tank to dry for the winter. Coming out here, you're going to have your slide out. Going to have your awning on top of your slide out here. So what that's going to do is going to help keep any debris from getting between your slide out and any of those seals that are going to be inside this camper. So if you go and bring in that slide out and there's any debris, what that'll do is get caught between that rubber lip and the slide out and cause damage as it slides in. Whenever you go to move, this retracts with it. Now coming along the rest of the camper here, this here is going to be your hot water heater right here. So for that, you just undo the flap like that. Here's that hot water or the freshwater drain cap that I was telling you about. This here is going to be your anode rod, which helps keep the camper, the water corrosion down inside your hot water tank. That'll be where that goes right there. This here is going to be a bypass valve for pressure. So whenever you go to winterize this unit and you're going to empty out the water, make sure that you relieve the pressure from that. So whenever you go to undo that, this relieves pressure from there, so this doesn't shoot out of there like a bullet. This here is going to be the exhaust vent for this hot water heater. So whenever you have this tank on and it's running on gas, you'll hear it actuate with a click, 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 and then followed by the propane kicking on. You'll feel the vent and the furnace with a lot of hot air coming out of here. Be careful, as that's going to be very hot. Now up underneath it here is going to be your fresh water with your low point drains. So whenever you have you go to winterize the unit, any water that's left over in the lines from the sink, the bathroom, anywhere that the water is, you open these up, it's going to drain out all those lines. This here was that waste disposal that I was telling you about. So when you go to hook up that stinky slinky, you'll hook it up to here. This is going to be your gray water and black water. The difference between those, this is going to be purely waste disposal. This here, gray water, is going to be anything from your sink, showers, anything like that. So whenever you go to use these, make sure that you fill up your tanks, so the black and gray, completely full. Even if they're not completely full when you go to dump, fill them completely. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow for the waste material to go completely out of the camper. Use the black water first, flush that first. Whenever that's done, what you're going to do is you're going to follow that by the gray tank, because what it's going to do is it's going to clear the disposal out of the pipe. This here is going to be another access little compartment here. Just open it like so. Going to have plenty of room up in here. There's going to be room for another stabilizer jack right here in the rear. Satellite auxiliary cable. Right there is going to be a 30 amp shore power supply. So coming up here, we're going to have your ladder up to the top of the unit. We recommend it at least twice a year. You check all your seals and everything up top. Access for a Furrion backup camera here as well to be installed. This is sold separately. This unit comes with a spare tire on this unit. The spare tire is going to be 65 psi. Anytime you want to, every time you go to fill up or take a trip, I recommend that you at least check your tires every time for the psi. It's going to be 100 foot-pounds of torque as well for each of the lug nuts. Recommend doing it after a hard break, at least once a year. I personally like to do it every time I take a trip or anything like that. That's what those do, just ensure safety. Coming along here, these end caps, you'll notice on these will pop off, and what you can do is you can put the stinky slinky in there from your RV starter kit. That's what that's do, to keep down the smell, everything like that, and keep it out of the way. Coming along the side of the unit here, here's is going to be the vent furnace for whenever you turn on your furnace. So whenever you turn on the furnace, you'll hear it like with the shower over there, it'll click on and actuate. You'll feel the hot air come out of this right here. This here is going to be the black tank flush, one of the third ways you can put water into the unit. So whenever you're going to use this black tank flush isn't actually going to flush your black tank or anything like that. All that this is going to do is it's going to hit the sensors that are going to be inside your black tank that tell you the level. So it's going to spray 3 jets of water onto those 3 sensors to attempt to clear those. That's all that does. This here is going to be an outdoor shower. So you'll hook up right here. Right here as well is going to be the hookup for your propane for the outdoor griddle. That griddle is going to be located up front underneath the couch. This here is going to be a strip as well to hang the griddle on. You have outdoor speakers on this unit as well, which you can control via the zone inside, so you can have sound inside or outside. The GFCI outlet right here as well. Coming up forward here, the rest is going to be on the side here. There's going to be another void that connects to the other side, as well as the other stabilizer. Now that we're done with the exterior, we're going to take you up to the roof, and then we're going to take you inside. Now that we're up on the roof here, like I was saying, at least twice a year you want to come up here and check all of your seals and everything. So that's going to pertain to everything from around these PVC pipes to around your window, your skylights, also to the vent covers into the bathroom, all along the seal, run along through the ladder here as well. You want to also come up and check on the sides here carefully. These parts over here, around the screw covers and around the venting. You're gonna want to make sure to check like any of the tarping, any of the awning covers themselves for any scrapes, scratches, or holes or anything like that. Come through, check out the awning seals as well. So what you're going to use, this white's going to be a self-leveling flat base sealant. It's going to be white. Now on the corners, you're going to be using a black ProFlex, is what that's going to allow, so it doesn't self-level and roll down the side of the camper. You just come through and you check up here, as well as around the dish and around your solar panels here as well. Now that we're done with the roof, let's make our way inside. Now that we made our way into the interior here, a couple things when you first walk in the camper. If you notice down here is going to be your fire extinguisher, as well as the water heater. So whenever you turn on your water heater, that's going to be for the gas for that. This here is going to be for the water pump. You'll hear that kick on as it tries to cycle water throughout the unit. So if you ever have trouble finding it, just turn that on, and you'll find water. This is going to be the battery box controls. So as you see that light up, it's going to be 1/3, 2/3 full. It's going to be for your fresh black tanks and gray water tanks as well. This here is going to be the GFCI outlet reset switch. So whenever you trip any of the outlets, right here is going to be your reset. Now up above here is going to be starting at the top here is going to be the controls for the zone 1 and 2. One's going to be internal. The 2 is going to be your external speaker. This is going to be for your Bluetooth, AM, FM, auxiliary. Underneath of that as well is going to be your slide down your awning controls, as well as the awning light. This is going to be for your porch lights as well. And then as well for your interior lights. So for your awning, we can't extend it fully, but as you go to unroll your awning, you'll see this black bar. So that's what the awning is wrapped around. As that black bar extends, you'll see the flap of the tarp. If you zoom up in the top left corner there, you'll see, so you see that black bar there. As you see that, as that comes out, you'll see half of it at the top. Whenever you see that, retract it back in and the flap will come back down. Now for your slide down controls here as well, whenever you go to fully extend it, you'll hear the motor kind of click, click, click. That's normal as you fully extend, as well as when you bring it back in. Just stop as soon as you hear that. You'll know that it's secured in place. Now moving along on the side here, if you look to the right here, you're going to have your seating area. It's going to be a couple things here up top. It's going to be your TV. This is going to be to help keep the TV secure as you go and travel. This here is going to be for your satellite auxiliary control, as well as your cigarette lighter, and the plug-in for the power is going to be behind this. So for this is going to be a nice seating area. If you do want to pull out bed right here, you just lift up and pull out. As you'll notice too, a couple of things. While we have this down, there's going to be 2 GFCI outlets on either side, as well as USB power for phones or tablets or anything like that, as well as your inverter controls right there. Now to lower this right here, you'll climb behind this and pull that out like that. Lower this down all the way and just pull your bed down. Have a nice little area back there with the shades as well. Storage is very simple too. You just lift up on this. That pin will lock back into place, and then lift both sides, and you're good to travel. So coming here, you have additional seating here as well. Moving on from the couch here, gonna have plenty of storage space with a little bit of mirror room here as well. Coming in, you're gonna have a nice little bunk bed here. On top of your bunk bed, gonna have additional dining room table in case you want to eat at the front here. You can just pull out that table and set it up nice and easy. Underneath here, you're gonna have as well a nice window, deep recess with the bunk bed there, with the ladder here to get onto the top bunk. Nice and secure as well, bolted to the ground so your kiddos won't fall. Coming here into the bathroom, gonna have a couple of nice features. Gonna have a shower miser here. So what that shower miser is gonna do is it's gonna take that water and recycle that water when you have it on, and it's gonna cycle that water. So as you start a shower, you lose several gallons when the water's heating up. It takes that water and recycles it back into your tank so you don't lose any water. On average, if you use the shower miser for a trip, I believe it was you can get 2 extra showers out of just 1 trip by using the shower miser as your water heats up. Here's going to be your toilet as well. Just going to be a standard toilet. Just press down on this right here, and it'll open that valve right there to allow flushing. Like I said, with the bio pouch, you'll put a couple ounces in here and then flush it with 3 gallons of water. Up above, you're gonna have your automatic vent as well as fan. So whenever you press this button here, it'll turn on your fan controls 1, 2, 3, and 4. So from whenever you're in the shower or venting, you can vent easily that way. Coming in here as well. This here, start at the bottom right here, is going to be your breaker panel. Or actually, I'm sorry. Yeah. So your breaker panel is going to be right here, as well as your fuse box. If you have any fuses that are blown, you'll have a light that turns on next to them on this side panel here. This here is going to be your vacuum control for this right here. So you'll just simply hit that with your foot, and you can turn on your vacuum controls right there as well. Hold it that right there. Gonna have a nice full-size fridge with this nice wooden covering on it. So here's gonna be your fridge inside, plenty of storage space, as well as your freezer, which is gonna be unlocked from the bottom here. Nice deep recessed. Plenty of popsicles in the summertime. Coming on, you're gonna have your little kitchen area right here. Gonna have a light as well as a vent fan in case things get smoky. So here you're gonna have your propane stove. So you're gonna lift up on this glass right here, and then you'll just turn on this way. Now up underneath of that, it's gonna be your microwave. Nice full size. Underneath that as well is gonna be your LP detector. So this right here, the reason that this is down low, LP gas or any other heavy gases sink to the floor. And what that'll do is it'll read any heavy gases on the ground. Check this at least every trip is what I recommend, and as well as every year, just to double check that the batteries and everything are good on it. Coming up here, you're gonna have plenty of storage up top, as well as a sink here. Gonna have the indoor speakers with these right here, as well as your AC unit, which you can control the vents via here if you want less or more of a flow. And that has been the R-Pod 196. Thank you for shopping here at SETZER'S Water Camping. Have a good day.